Hello, my friends. Welcome. We are here. We are live. Thanks for being here or for watching our replay. I'm Rachel Archelaus, founder of the Intuitive Art Academy, and this is Carrie Roldan, your business BFF. I am so excited to talk about this today because it is never, ever, ever too late to follow your dreams, even if your mind has told you otherwise, or society, or your parents, or your kids, or whatever. It's time to look away from anything outside of you that has a ticking clock and look within and know that there is unlimited time for you. If you're alive and you're here, you can do it. And I was thinking about this the other day because I was on the phone with my mom and I was telling her that the Intuitive Art Academy online is in its 10-year anniversary this year. 10 years of the Intuitive Art Academy online. I had been teaching more than 10 years offline already before I created it, but lo and behold, it's already been 10 years. And I was thinking, my gosh, I thought about creating it online for so long. And I thought, oh my God, my life is passing me by. I need to do this. And so I did. And then I realized my book came out in 2017. 2017. That is so long ago. And yet again, I thought, oh my God, I'm so old. Why hasn't this book come out yet? Why haven't I written this book yet? What's wrong with me? I'm never going to do it. It's too late. But yet I did it. It took a while. And it's already been so long. And so even if I had waited a year more, 3 years more, 5 years more, it still would have been out for years by now. So, and I'm only 42, right? I can understand. All right, but Rachel, you are still young. I'm in my 50s, my 60s, my 70s. You don't understand. I can't do it. Let me tell you, in 5 years, when you're still alive, you could look back and say, hey, 5 years ago, I did this thing and it's been so long and I can't believe I waited so long, but it's done. I can't believe it. I did it. Right. And so it's never, ever, ever too late to do what you want to do, even if your mind or anyone else is telling you, because time will pass inevitably and you'll have done it and it will be amazing. And then you can go on to create more things like oracle decks and journals and all the other things that we've created because we got this out and then we still wanted to do more. And that is what's going to happen to you too. You're going to have this culmination of a dream that's been in your heart for so long. You're going to work on it. You're going to do it. You're going to put it out into the world. And then you're going to want to do more because you're going to be on such a roll. So that is my monologue for today. I would love to know what your dreams are, what you want help with, support with, and then I want to hear from Carrie too.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things. Hey, everybody. Hey, Guillaume. I see that you're here. Nice to have you. First off, we never talk about the topic with each other ahead of time. Rachel sends the email, so I get the topic when you guys do, but I often immediately forget. So I don't know why I immediately forget, but I do, and it works well because then when we're here, it's like live reaction. And as you were talking about this, I was thinking about the nature of time already this week. So I was thinking about, I had like an epiphany in the shower because that's where we all have them. That I've been married to my husband for almost 21 years. And like assuming that both of us reach the age of our grandparents, we're going to be married for another 40 years. So I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I mean, I feel like we've lived a lifetime together so far. We've raised our kids. Our kids are high school, getting into college, junior high, high school, and college. So like, I'm sort of maybe looking at my life. I have a daughter that just turned 20, a son that's turning 18 in a week. And he just had a long conversation with me about, well, you should feel old. And I was just thinking about that and the nature of time and how I used to think 20 years was a really long time, right? But when I'm like, okay, well, the idea of till death do us part, like I just didn't give a whole lot of thought to like, oh, that's like several 20-year increments. Anyhow, so that's just sort of that's the expansion that was going on for me this week. And oh, wow. I suppose the same thing has happened for my parents, right? They've lived without me in their house for longer than they lived with me in their house, right? They had a whole life before I showed up, and they're having a whole life after I left. I mean, I still see my parents regularly, but anyhow, so just recognizing that. I think we tend to put like, I need to do this by the time I'm 30 and this by the time I'm 40, and this is how it's going to be. But like, wow, even if I think about my mom, when I was thinking about her as a kid, right? I was like, well, she's already done, right? Like she's whatever her purpose is, it's just to pay attention to me. And like now she could just sit around and do nothing. And like my mom still has dreams that she can eagerly launch. In fact, I'm going to speak this into existence. I don't know if it's her dream, but it's sort of my dream for my mom. I think my mom needs a cooking show. My mom and maybe my daughter together making stuff because she's amazing. And which leads me to Julia Child. I think she was like, what was she, 50 when she started? I'm thinking about, I know you guys have heard like Colonel Sanders. I think he was like 50 or 60. Vera Wang was 40 before she ever like designed a wedding dress. Like, and so it's just sort of remembering like we have so much time, whether it's a year or 6 years or 40 years or like wherever you are, you have so much time. Because when you align with what you want, it comes fast. And so it may have taken you, I'm 48. It may have taken me 48 years of hard work, right? But once I align, it comes quickly. So yeah, I think if you want something to be in your life, it's not too late to have it. So even if and maybe you want to talk about this, Rachel, but like, it's so easy to argue for your limitations. So like, oh, I wanted to, if by the time I was this age, I really wanted to already have several income generating properties. I'm behind. I don't have those yet. And if I want to get started today, I probably need several $1 million right? Like I could talk myself into, oh, I should have been doing this in the past. And because I didn't do this in the past, then I can't be where I want to be now. It's such a lie. It's such a lie. Anything can happen.
I think you really just hit the nail on the head too. Like I loved everything you said. And you basically said all the things I wanted to say about time in the email that I said, which is perfect. But also like I even find myself arguing for my limitations. And then luckily this year I've been so diligent about my alignment this year more than ever because our capacity expands the more we practice. And we had Higher Self. We had our app, we have our group. Like we've done a lot this year to keep it really focused. And last year I didn't hike all that much because it was too hot, because I had too much to do, because the canyon is busy, because the parking is bad. And this year I just had this spark of like, wait a minute, why am I saying all this? I live at the base of mountains with hundreds of trails accessible to me. If I want to go hiking, I can go hiking. I can hike every single day if I want to. And so I've been out a lot this year, a lot more than usual, because once you realize you're lying to yourself, it's really easy to overcome. And so hopefully today we can convince you to stop lying to yourself, to claim your power of now. Thank you, Eckhart Tolle. And jump into the life that you want, because it's right here. It's not past, it's here.
Amen. Okay, so we have 2 comments, both sort of talking about the nature of time. And I think, which is so great. It's like we're talking about, what we're really saying is it's never too late.
Mm-hmm.
So foodie's delight. I rush so much, clock ticking constantly. My husband can't stand it, / me. Okay. So my husband is here in the house right now, and he is guilty of that as well. He is like the guy who's in a hurry. And so I think I know you're not asking for advice, so here's my unsolicited advice to you is when you recognize it, when you, because it's easy, right? You get caught in the story of your head, you're right, like you get in a rush because you're living and there's not enough time. I want to squeeze it all in, like whatever it is. But when you're in that state, you're not present. And so one of the quickest ways for us to get my husband back in the right state is to tease him a little bit, right? Like we actually mock him. We kind of all start acting like him. And sometimes it makes him mad, but most times it snaps him into the present moment, right? It helps him realize like, oh, okay, like I'm doing it again. Or he gets a real physical manifestation. Both of my kids have asked him in the past few days, Dad, what happened to your thumb? And he was nailing something. Well, his mind, and like he'd already gone on to the next thing, and he like whacked himself in the thumb. And so that's a cool thing too, right? Your life will do that to you. Your life will smack you upside the head or give you a little reminder to just be present. So yeah, if you can remember, the clock is ticking constantly. That doesn't have anything to do with you.
And don't forget that you'll get more done if you relax. And if you remember that you aren't the micromanager, you aren't the only doer, you are the enjoyer, you are the perceiver, and your higher self, your whole multidimensional being, is doing all the things for you. You get to receive, you get to enjoy, you get to smell the air, you get to rest, you get to play. And the more you can relax into that, the more you will have, the more you'll see is done, the more you can actually receive the effort that you are trying to create from. And, rushing, I'm not saying this is you or trying to diagnose anyone, but rushing can also be a symptom of sort of less than ideal childhood. If you were always in a rush, if there was always something going on, if there was always like a raised cortisol in your body, you can get addicted to that. And, there's like a rewiring of your brain that happens when you're around trauma as a kid. And if you never train yourself back into relaxation, then that can just be your momentum. So it might feel like that's the only option if that's you. But just know that with meditation, relaxation, mindfulness, you can rewire yourself to a much easier existence, to better heart health, better hormonal health. Like it changes everything. So, yeah,
And
your mom always made you rush. Yeah, that's usually the case. So just know your mom's not here. I mean, hopefully she's still with you in some way, but like you can live your own life now. You get to choose how you want to be.
and there's no sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best things about being present is also being able to like enjoy the fruits of your labor, whatever it is that you did, like step back and appreciate yourself and your effort and what you've done. And when we're rushing, we miss all of that. And it is, I was once a rusher. I'm so not that anymore that it's like a little bit hard to remember. But I do get in times in my life where like it just seems busy.
Mm-hmm.
And meditation is like the easiest thing for me to say that I don't have time for. But isn't it so wonderful that when you make time for it, time opens up?
Yeah, I mean, when I have a lot of priorities and I fall into momentum in my day, just like everyone else, where I'm not doing what I want to do, or where my break turns into a really extended break. And then, and then it's like I'm procrastinating and I really want to do the thing I want to do, but I'm not doing it. That is when I take out time and meditate. That is when I take at least, 5 minutes and I just lay down on my couch. I put on my watch timer and I just breathe and I just try to connect, because that can break up momentum and get you into the fresh, new moment so that you can decide, you know what, I want to go back to my break, or actually now I feel enough, opening to do the thing that I wanted to do. And that happened to me last night. I was just like, I had a long day, did a lot of things. It was great. Did a lot of homework. I went for a long walk with my partner. Juneteenth, happy Juneteenth, everyone. And then I just got into watching soap videos on YouTube, and it was like really fun and I liked it. But I really wanted to work on my Substack. And so after like, oh, I'll watch another video, then I was like, all right, I got to meditate. And so I did. And then I wrote a draft of a Substack, and it was really fun. And I love doing it, right? So sometimes we're procrastinating just because of momentum. So take a break, meditate, find your center, and then that opening will probably be there. So you don't have to be at the mercy of whatever was going on before.
Rachel, that's such great advice. Like really, really great advice, because I think a lot of us find other coping mechanisms when we want a state change, right? Like we'll eat a snack, or we'll, like you said, just I've been like addicted to solitaire on my phone. And it's a sneaky little thing because it doesn't let you see your clock. So you don't know how long you've been doing it, right? Anyhow, I love that idea for like, okay, I know I want to do something, but I'm not doing it. Let me give myself 5 minutes. I love that a lot. Like just a break in the momentum. And actually our watches, those of you who have Apple Watches, like it pretty fairly regularly tells me like, take a moment to breathe, or, whatever. I don't know when those come up, but I usually just dismiss them. That's a great little, like, I don't know, just a 5-minute meditation break. Because you're right. Normally when you take the time to meditate, a lot of times I will meditate because I know I want to work out, but I don't feel like working out. And so I use the Peloton app, and I'll go into a Peloton meditation. So like, at least I logged in, and sure enough, once I've done the meditation, now I'm like, all right, now what?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like we want to talk about chasing our dreams, but I can't chasing isn't the right word, actually. I can't
Allowing.
I can't let Guillaume's comment go. I desire to manifest a way to physically time travel so I can completely change my own past for the better. So any of us can time travel at any time, but there's no such thing as physical time travel, because time is a human construct. Like it's not like Back to the Future, right? Where we can literally like move our physical bodies to another time, but we can absolutely time travel. You can jump timelines right now, right? Time is stretchy. Everything is happening all at once, right? Oh, have you seen that?
A little bit. I didn't really like it. I watched half of it.
Oh yeah, it gets violent. I forgot about that. It is violent, but it is also hilarious, and it does a really good job of showing like everything everywhere all at once. But yeah, so there's no need to hop into a DeLorean and go back to wherever. Like, I mean, that's not going to happen, right? But you can absolutely remember a time in your past and go to that time in your past and change it. Absolutely. You can do that. can do that in a meditation. You can ask for guidance.
And you can do that, absolutely. But the other thing is you don't have to do that. So time does not exist. Time isn't real. Time is something we've chosen to include in our, seemingly linear experience here. But there's only one moment. That's this moment. The moment that you're in is the only moment that exists. Your past doesn't exist. And actually in psychology, I'm in grad school and we're studying this right now about how it's so easy to suggest memories to people that aren't real. You can do it in an instant and they will believe that that actually happened to them. And that is just a way to show that you can change your past now. You can change your past now. And if you look ahead, or even right now, and you take your view off the past, it will no longer exist. It will no longer, if you stop looking at it, if you stop giving it importance, if you stop giving it meaning, it will shrivel up and desiccate and blow away in the wind as if it never happened. So I understand that there are some times when you want to do this inner process that Carrie's talking about of going within, imagining it, seeing it change, right? That could be helpful for a lot of people. Whenever I do that, I get more depressed because I'm looking at something I don't want to look at. And so my way has always been ease is easy. Just change my view. It takes some effort to stop looking at something you're used to looking at. But if you can do that, if you can just look at what you want, spend your time in appreciation, find a way to feel better, that will dry up the past and allow you now to live the life that is free, is abundant, is open, is not tainted by that thing. So that's another way to live your dreams now. Forget about what happened to you in the past. Yeah, it made you who you are now, but if you don't like the effects of that, then forget about it. You are more than the sum of your traumas. You are more than all the things you went through in the past. And right now, you can be your absolute truth, which is a multidimensional divine being with creator powers who can create anything you want.
Amen. and when we think about it, right? Like if there's only this moment and the past doesn't exist, then what we consider the past is just our perception / memories of it.
Exactly. Whether correct or incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like always telling stories of like, for every client I have that has a story of like, well, I can't do this because I didn't have parents who, right? Mm-hmm. There is someone with a very similar story who has what you want. Mm-hmm. Right? Like there just is. And so it is, where do we want to put our focus?
Yeah.
We don't need to keep looking back. I have a client who told me she has a little sticky note that says, stop looking back. What you want isn't that way. Like, just yeah. Like, and I coach runners, right? And there's a tendency to look back. How far am I ahead? And I'm like, listen, it's slowing you down to look back. A couple of things. If you look back, you've now just told the person behind you that they have you, right? If you're in front of me and you look back, I'm like, I got you. I am coming for you, right? And if you took the time to look back and realize nobody can catch me, well, you could have been half a second faster if you didn't take that time to look back. So no sense in looking over your shoulder or dwelling on what's behind you.
You create what you look at. It's that simple. If you're looking at the reasons why you can't do something, you're amplifying that within you. You're making it harder on yourself. The thing isn't making it harder. You are making it harder by focusing on the thing. The thing is irrelevant now. It's irrelevant. If you want a better life, look at your life as better. Look at things that feel better. Look at yourself and what feels better. That is as simple as it gets. No time travel needed. But if that's your thing, go for it. Like, more power to you if that's where you want to go, you know?
I know, that's what I was thinking is I love a little time travel because I like to remember I can just jump timelines. Like, I could just go to the place where I already am that. And then I open my eyes from that place. And I live my life from that place, right? Like,
I don't feel like I'm moving timelines when I do that. I feel like I am that now, right? Like,
yes, you're aligning.
yeah, like nothing, everything comes to us. We don't actually have to go anywhere. Everything comes to you, which I feel is very empowering.
I am wondering, I know we're talking about the same thing. I'm wondering if this has to do with that like inability to see things in your head.
Probably.
Like,
Yeah.
like that, like, because that's what I'm thinking about is like picturing, imagining, feeling, being, just like we do in our group and in our various places when we do that 5D alignment, right? Like that's what I'm talking about. And then opening my eyes and have whole body alignment with the future or the where I want to be, right? Like being in that place. So it is being it now. But I just have a little mental journey to get there.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't have a journey, I guess.
Yeah.
I just had to school my class on aphantasia because I read the whole mental imagery chapter in my textbook and not one mention of aphantasia was in there. And I was like, listen, folks, not everyone can see things in their heads. And my classmates were like, what? I've never heard of this before.
Do you know, I know someone else, you and I have a mutual friend who I don't know if she knows she has it, but she does. And she's a super duper psychic person, also autistic. And same. I remember telling her one time, like, well, you know, when you close your eyes at night and you see, and she's like, no. She's like, when I close, yeah, like if the curtain drops, that's it. That's all that's there. And I was like, what? Like, how is that possible? Because she can like see into the future, but turns out nothing in the, she can see like for me, and I know you can too, right? Like you can see things that like I'm not seeing in my like reality, and yet no ability to close her eyes and create pictures in her head. So
Nope.
there you go.
And see, that's the thing is like, you don't even need all of the abilities that regular people have in order to have a fantastic life. You get to be you. I think the biggest thing I really want you to take away from today is you don't have to go anywhere to, well, my thing went up. You don't have to go anywhere to have your dreams come true. It did the thumbs up and now it's not doing the heart. Oh, well. Anyway, everything comes to you just as you are. If you can get out of your own way and feel better. If you can feel better, if you can appreciate whatever you have right now, or whatever good thoughts you can conjure up, or even good memories, if you can appreciate without buts, without I wish it was happening now, without just appreciate. Just appreciate. More to appreciate will come, and you'll find it easier and easier to stop talking yourself out of things, right? Like my hiking. Like I'm going hiking more regularly now because I've been appreciating so much that little fight that my brain was giving me last year isn't there anymore. It's not there. I've been going and hiking at night. I've been going hiking during the day. I've been going hiking all kinds of times with people, without people. things I would never do before. So give yourself a break, relax, feel good, and you're going to start noticing a big shift.
And there's plenty of time.
Yeah.
It's infinite.
It is literally infinite. You have infinite resources. Yeah. Okay, well, we are at time. If you want to follow my personal journey of getting everything I want, then join the channel, because every Saturday I give a video behind the scenes about what is coming into my life and what dreams are coming true and how you can do it too. So join the channel at the Galaxy Pal level and get a special video from me every single Saturday. And join us in our group coaching at intuitiveart.com/membership, because we are doing this every single week with you, 3 weeks out of the month, one-on-one in a group setting. We get to hear from you. We get to coach you. Intimate Alien gets to take a piece of you and give it back to you all juiced up and jazzed up. And it really is a life changer. The people who've been in our group for a long time are rocking life, absolutely rocking life. It is so fun to see. Every year, it just keeps getting better and better for them. So join them and have a super special rockin' life, and share it with all of us. So yeah. Anyway, we love you. And I think I'm going to be here alone with you next week, because Carrie's going to be in a really, really cool place that I wish I was going to too.
I'm going to be living my dreams. So yeah.
Yeah. I love it. All right, everyone. We love you. We'll see you next week. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.
See you later, guys.